What is going on YouTube, Fesify family? Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe for all the latest UK media updates and story videos. And of course, follow us on Instagram at Fesify. Drop me a message if you want to and I'll give you a response. Give me video ideas or anything, that's at Fesify on Instagram. Make sure you go over there. So I've already done a story on DigDat. His story is mad. This guy grew up really in the trenches. He's from Deptford and he grew up in that life he talks about and he's rapped today. But I found a little backstory what was interesting, how he got dished a 10-year sentence at the age of just 13. Let's get into it. So there's absolutely nothing on the internet with DigDat's name attached to the case that we're going to talk about, but I actually found it and I believe there's so much stuff to back up that this is the actual offence which put him inside due to the time frame and everything about it. So Bouncer said on his podcast that DigDat got a 10-year sentence at the age of just 13 and done 5 years and was released. DigDat of course has talked about being in jail on the song Air Force, which absolutely skyrocketed his career. He said, what do you know about sitting in jail and you feel like the pillow's giving you spots? Come a long way from sitting in a cell. He also talks about bobs and wires and how people say prison's a good thing but it's not. Don't know where they get the information from. That's me rephrasing what he said, but the bars are there. You guys must know it if you've listened to DigDat. So I found the case back in 2013, which is in Ladywell Centre, which is not far from Deptford where DigDat's from. In fact, it's around 8 minutes apart. It was on the 27th of July in 2013. If DigDat served 5 years after this time, coming out in 2018, that would also make sense because that's when he blew up as well and first started his rap career. Also in this case, it was a 13-year-old boy that got dished a 10-year sentence. So what happened? It was said a 13-year-old boy was jailed for a decade after a stabbing of a youngster 3 times outside of a youth club. His 14-year-old victim will be on antibiotics for the rest of his life following a knife attack outside Ladywell Centre in Dressington Avenue on February the 18th of this year, which was back in 2013. He was jailed at the Old Bailey and was told he would spend a minimum of 5 years inside, which he did, before being considered for release on licence, which will be for a further 3 years. So that means to this day DigDat is still on licence. It said emergency services were called to the report of a stabbing at 9:30. Youth workers who were nearby at the time rushed to the victim and provided him with first aid before the paramedics arrived from the London ambulance service. The boy was rushed to hospital suffering 3 separate stab wounds, including one to his chest. His attacker was arrested the next day along with 2 other youths who were later released without charge. Meaning DigDat and 2 other people were arrested, but DigDat was the only one that actually got time out of the 3 people. The other 2 got released. It said if the youth workers didn't provide that initial support at first for the victim, he may not have survived. DigDat got 10 years for this brutal attack. It was probably a GBH and possession of a bladed article, which was his offences, and of course he only served 5 years of his 10-year sentence, and they probably put that down to immaturity by letting him go with just half of his sentence. This is a very young age, 13, to be doing stuff like this. DigDat really comes from it, and that authenticity in his rap, you can hear it, but this is the story to confirm it. As I was finished off this video and I looked further down the case, and he actually got an AM, an attempted murder on this charge. That's crazy. It was said the boy was sentenced today for attempted murder at the time did not think about the long-term impact of his behaviour would have on the victim's life and his own life. Detective Chief Inspector Barry Smith of Lewisham Police added, "We are committed to tackling the issue of serious youth violence and knife crime in Lewisham, trying to work with our parents to try to steer the youth and people away from engaging in criminal behaviour." To be fair, you got to give a lot of credit to DigDat. Despite what he done was crazy at the time, to come back from that, spend all that time inside and have a positive attitude to prosper and start a rap career as soon as you come out is really paid off for him. He spent a lot of time in jail and this guy is a reformed character now, focused on his rap career and hopefully don't get dragged back into silly situations. But guys, it just goes to show you, if the paramedics didn't get there at a certain time or the people from the youth centre didn't help that guy, he could have passed away. We might not have even seen DigDat. Situations like this are never worth it. He would have never have seen this rap career if certain adjustments or certain things didn't happen. Stay focused on positive things, guys, and don't get dragged into petty situations. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for all latest UK media updates, videos. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.